Paulette Goddard was an American actress notable for her film career in the golden age of Hollywood. Born in Manhattan and raised in Kansas City, Missouri, Goddard initially began her career as a child fashion model and performer in several Broadway productions as a Ziegfeld girl. She was born on June 10, 1910 in Whitestone, New York, and she died April 23, 1990 in Ronco-Spora, Ascona, Switzerland. She was 5'4". She was buried at the Ronco Cemetery in Ronco-Spora, Asconia. And her parents was Allie McGraw, Alta May Goddard, and Joseph Russell LeVay. And she was married to Eric Maria Remarque from 1958 to 1970. Burgess Meredith from 1944 to 1949, and Charlie Chaplin from 1936 to 1942, and Edgar Jones from 1927 to 1932.
Paulette Goddard.
Now, some of the movies that she's noted for is Modern Times, 1936, The Great Dictator, 1940, Unconquered, and The Wild Wind, 1942. Now, on April 23rd of 1990, she was 79 years old, and she died at her home in Switzerland from heart failure. Now, Paulette Goddard stars is located at 1652 Vine Street for the category of motion pictures. And it's located between Hollywood Boulevard and Selma Avenue. Again, that's category of motion pictures, 1652 Vine Street for Paulette Goddard star. And that's located between Hollywood Boulevard and Selma Avenue. She's an American film actress, former child fashion model, in several Broadway productions as a Ziegfeld girl. A major star at the Paramount Studio in the 1940s, was married to several notable building men, including Charlie Chaplin, Burgess Meredith, and Eric Maria Remarque. Goddard was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for the performance in So Proudly We Hail. Paulette Goddard was born Marion Pauline LeVay. She was an American child born in Whitestone Landing, Queens, Long Island. Her father, Joseph Russell LeVay, was Jewish, and her mother, Alta May Goddard, was Episcopalian of an English heritage. Her parents divorced while she was young, and she was raised by her mother, and her father virtually vanished from her life, only to resurface later in the late 1930s after she became a star. At first, the relationship seemed general enough, as they used to attend film premieres together, but then he sued her over a magazine article that claimed he abandoned her when she was young. They were never reconciled, and upon his death, he left just $1 in his will. She remained very close to her mother, however, as both had struggled through the early years with her great-uncle Charles Goddard lending a hand. Charles Goddard helped his great-niece find jobs as a fashion model with the Ziegfeld Follies as the heavier decorated Ziegfeld girls. From 1924 to 1928, she attended Washington Irving High School in Manhattan at the same time as Claire Trevor. Now, her stage debut was the Ziegfeld Follies. River was notable in 1926 and played a small role in the Rio Rita. The next year, she made her stage and acting debut in The Unconquerable Male. She also changed her name to Paulette and took her mother's maiden name as her last name. She married an older, wealthy businessman, lumber tycoon Edgar James, in 1926 or 1927, and moved to North Carolina. Goddard returned to Hollywood in 1929. They divorced in 1930. Hollywood Says, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button, and leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Hollywood Says, subscribe, notification bell, and leave us a comment. Hollywood Says, and Starlet too.